The Lakers, have they built themselves back into a finals favorite out west based on what they've done over the last 72 hours and change?
Oh yes, next question. No,
I hate this.
I mean, listen, I am not gonna lie. I have loved the Lakers offseason. Like, I wish I could go on Twitter and share that, but it's been fun there. It's been an adventure. So, anyways, I'll share it here. Yeah, I mean, the draft, I really like. Jalen Hood-Schifino's nice. I would have taken Cam Whitmore personally. Like, upside play. I don't understand the whole stuff behind the scenes in the knee. I don't think anyone really does. And he wasn't talking. He's like, oh. Cam's like, I don't know what's being said. So that was different. Jalen Hood-Schifino's like a nice, solid player, and I thought it was like Reeves insurance, but guess what? We got Gabe Vincent. We got Reeves back. Like,
I can't believe you led with Cam Whitmore like not being the pick. I gave you are they a contender? With everybody they're bringing back, Gabe Vincent in the fold, like everyone's back, and Corbin's
That's
like,
how my brain works. I like the Cam Whitmore call out. I like the Cam Whitmore call out.
I gotta start chronologically, okay?
Oh my god!
I start with the draft and I work my way down, okay? And with the draft,
LeBron, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, who cares?
I mean, listen, it's between the margins. Okay, here's the thing. LeBron's gonna be 39 next year, right? This is the first time he's been like talking potentially retirement. Although the fact that we all didn't believe him is one thing, but the fact he even said it, I feel, is another thing, right? Like, just word of caution. AD will be 31 next year, and still has not been healthy, and he just got I don't even know taken out back by Jokic in the conference finals. Like it was. I'm sorry, like that's just what happened, right? So you need to worry about the margins and making sure that you have a team that can withstand the inevitable 25 games missed from AD or 25 to 30 from LeBron, depending on what injury they both accrue. And so with that being said, I like the players picked. I don't want to say instant championship contention because we're going with another year older AD and a 39-year-old LeBron. Like, in theory, yes, absolutely. And I'm like, let's go, right? But they both were either injured or just out of gas by the conference finals. Like, no other excuse. Like, LeBron, yes, torn tendon. AD, I'm sure, was nursing some injury. But that's the standard, right? It was a shame that D'Angelo Russell just left his game in Golden State. And, other players didn't step up, collectively just shooting. And so this year, I like the fact the Lakers could have easily went and tried to make an overture to Kyrie, which, oh my goodness. Or, like, done one of the things they've done the last 3 or 4 off seasons, right? Which is just like throw caution to the wind. Who needs team building? Let's chase a star. Minimum guys that you used to love in 2008. Like, that's what they've done the last couple of years, right? And this season, or this off season rather, I think it was just solid moves in the margins that make sense on paper, and you can also see the fit on the basketball on the floor, right? And yeah, I listen. The Suns, in theory, look pretty solid, right? I mean, defensively, I worry about Booker, Durant, and Beal just throwing it out there. And also, we've seen the big threes historically over the last 4 years. A lot of hype, and then the results are less than stellar, right? But if you look at who they got, they have like 6 players they signed over the last 3 days that shot like over 40% from 3. Like, varying sample size, that's pretty good, right? Obviously, the Nuggets, they lost Bruce Brown. That was pretty big, but they're still going to be up there. Other teams are in
Jeff
the
Green, too.
Oh, Jeff Green, too. That is true, even though he was unplayable come,
he played a lot of important minutes for Denver.
He shouldn't have, but he did. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry, Jay. Like, he was not good. I mean, I'm so glad he won. Uncle Jeff, like, good at champion, but those minutes were not great, man.
But also, can we say this about Bruce Brown? Where I've seen a lot of people, the sky's falling. Like, obviously, he gets paid in the 2-year deal in Indiana.
It's overpay, yeah.
There's a lot of overpays in Indiana. But what's funny? It's like, I just give Indiana a pass because I respect it. They have never drafted high. They're never going to draft high. We're going to be Indiana. This is Indiana basketball. So it's like, that's who they are. Like, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, you're there forever. Like, we are making the playoffs. We're getting that gate revenue. That is what Herb Simon does. So, like, that's fine. But, like, the way it was crafted, I was like, he was playing crunch time, important minutes over the guy you already paid. That the guy that you need to be playing those minutes long term. If this is going to be a dynasty, the dynasty doesn't work if Michael Porter Jr. is unplayable in the NBA Finals. Like, if Michael Porter Jr. isn't doing anything when his shot isn't falling, that's a problem. That is a much bigger problem than Bruce Brown not being around because, like, the linchpin of your dynasty should not be Bruce Brown. The linchpin of he was in that Steven Jackson San Antonio Spurs role, right? Where you have the guy who plays really well for whatever reason with your organization, perfect fit, everything else, and then they go away and you never hear from them again, or it just is never the same. Like, he's just never the same kind of player. He just fits so well in San Antonio, and it worked for him there. I wonder with Bruce Brown, like, yeah, it was a great run. He got the title. He doesn't like need to go ring chasing anymore. Like, he's good. He's getting paid, generational wealth, all that kind of stuff. All great. But it comes down to Michael Porter Jr., and I think that's something that they miss a lot in this discussion. And I just look at it, I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. If Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon are all healthy, they should be able to find guys in the margins. So you can replace a Bruce Brown. They were right there 2 years. They were right there in the bubble with no Bruce Brown. Like, we've seen it. Like, Michael Porter Jr., it really falls more on him. So that's a long way of saying that. But I will say, when you look at the Lakers, Lauren, I mean, the West is just so crowded. Like, Sacramento, I think, got better. I think Dallas got better. I think the Pelicans, we forget. We talked about it, Corban. They were the best team in the West in December. Like, a healthy Zion, they're right there in the top 4. Memphis, they moved on. The quiet little thing for me is, like, I don't think they are a contender next year because Tyus Jones is no longer a Grizzly. And I know that sounds weird, but Tyus Jones would have been great to have to navigate those 25 games without Ja Morant. Now it's going to be Derrick Rose in 2023. Like, no, I don't think they're going to be able to make up the ground. I think they're going to be in a hole where they're not even home court status, because I think the West is going to be so tight that all of those games matter. So I just go up and down this list. I'm like, the Lakers are deep. I think this is actually the best opportunity for the Lakers to avoid having to do so much as a bottom seed, where I'm like, I just think they're going to be able to survive. I think Austin Reeves is extremely important. I think Gabe Vincent's going to be extremely important. I think just with their depth, I look at it and I'm like, I think they're going to be able to survive and be a top 4 team in the West. Like, I think that's important. I don't know if they can win the title because, Lauren, I don't know if LeBron James has it in him to be the best top 3, top 5 player in basketball for 100 games. I don't know if he can do it at 39. I think that ship might have sailed.
Man, that's some spice right there. That's some spice.
Is it? He's 39. Second best player of all time. Corban's out.
Yes. The Lakers, I think that they've done a really phenomenal job. I think roster building this offseason. They've checked a lot of boxes that you would have wanted to see them check. And so I've been impressed by what they've done. I'm curious to see how things go during the regular season health-wise, but I do think that as far as the pieces that they've put around their 2 lead guys, I don't think could have asked for much more, especially Austin Reeves, getting him at the dollar amount that they got him for. That was a big deal, and when I saw that, I was scratching my head. There were so many notifications, but I was scratching my head because there was a dollar amount that was reported, and then there was all these moves being pulled off by Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, and getting Austin Reeves at that dollar amount, I think, is something that's getting a little bit overlooked. And so for the Lakers specifically, it's always going to come down to health, especially going the distance. But I do think that the pieces that they have in play are definitely a pretty big improvement compared to last year, for sure.
I was surprised to see Gabe Vincent wind up in LA. Like, I didn't really have that. I thought they would bring back. I will say the one big one is I think the Rui deal sucks. That the Rui Hachimura deal was. I have a lot of evidence of Rui Hachimura not being a good NBA player.
Whoa, dude! One second, I'm gonna get I'm flabbergasted here. Did we not see the first, even in the third round? Did we not see the first 2 rounds of the playoffs? Yeah, good. I thought it was a decent contract. Like, that's what he was in line of getting. Like that, he played well in the playoffs. He raised his level of play in the playoffs. He had stand-up performances against both the Grizzlies and the Warriors. And mind you, yes, he was right up there on the chopping block with everybody else against the Nuggets. But defensively, we know that's not his strength. And Darvin Ham, in his infinite wisdom, decided to switch it up and have him guard Jokic during some minutes. Which, if AD's getting his ass handed to, if AD is getting cooked, I don't understand.
Take it outside.
Exactly. There you go. Take it outside. Like, if Hachimura is the answer, I don't want to know the question. Like. That's what I get there. But in this case, the dude is 25. He's obviously shown that he's able to play alongside LeBron and AD as a front court player. That's big. We saw Jarrett Vanderbilt get played off the floor. in the later rounds because
better
of
player though.
Limitations. Yes, I would say better in spots, but like Hachimura is a better fit. He held his own in certain matchups defensively, and he brought a release valve offensively. He was creating his own offense when LeBron and AD were off the floor. Like, I'm really high on him. I think that it was one of those situations where you're a player in a losing situation, and then you're in a better spot in a role that's more optimized to you, and you can flourish in that. And so, I thought he was playing solid all year since he's been to LA, and the fact that he raised in the playoffs where most players tend to shy away, that cemented me. I thought it was a decent contract for what he was going to get. Like, that's what he was on the market for, it looked like.
His all-time similarity score, almost identical to this point in his career is?
Don't say it. Actually, tell me. I'm curious.
Othello Harrington.
Othello from the Rockets in the 90s? Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, listen, Othello Harrington didn't play alongside LeBron James, so
I like the Rui deal. I think I like it. I think he's gonna be good there, and I think we kind of saw glimpses of it last year, and he's exactly what they need, or at least he fits in line with what they need. And so I liked the signing. I think that they're gonna be fine, and I think all of the deals, all the price points that they got guys at are stuff that worst case scenario you can move if you have to. It gives you just more flexibility in general. The D'Lo one, I will say, like, at first I was a little like, I didn't really see that one coming, but at the same time, it's 2 years, 20 million in this league is not what it used to be, and it's not even 20 million. So I just I don't know. I think that there are bigger, worse contracts out there than that D'Lo one, but I was a little surprised by that.
Well, I think the D'Lo is, I would have been more, if I'm a Laker fan, like, I would have been more upset if Gabe Vincent's not in the fold, because, like, Gabe should start.
Oh yeah.
Like, if D'Lo is your first guard off the bench, it's good. Where if he doesn't have it that night, good. Like, you're gone for the rest of the night. It's okay. But when you are needing D'Lo in important spots, that's where you don't want to be. So I think if the plan is Gabe Vincent is the starting point guard and is in that Alex Caruso role that they won the title with 2 years ago, then I think they're fine. But if D'Lo is like, I'm still starting, and you're just like, Gabe's not playing nearly enough, and that's an issue, then I think that's something to monitor. But I think with Gabe Vincent there, I think it's pretty solid. I think that's the best spot for D'Lo.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I will say I saw a tweet that was like, it was like D'Lo at 18 million versus Gabe and D'Lo for a combined 30 million, and I was like, I think that's the way to look at it, because even though that's not how it works, obviously, when you're looking at that and you're looking at building those pieces around LeBron, having those two guys, especially like you said, pulling D'Lo off the bench and having him come in and kind of get hot or not, and then going a different direction. I think that's something, having that flexibility and even the youth is something that is going to really come in handy for them for sure.
I think so. Lillard trade, is it Miami or somewhere else, Corban? Where do you want Damian Lillard to go, and what does the Lillard trade look like for you?
So I can't get myself around Miami. I get that Lillard wants to go there. You want to do right by him.